Namaste. So now we know that everything is geometric. I have been posting images. You can see that there's geometry in every culture and religion. But what do we do with this information? There is sacred geometry, yes, there is a particular template by which the universe expresses itself. That template is also expressed in our body, our environment, the world around us. But what now? For several years, great minds have been studying sacred geometry from the perspective of science, from the perspective of architecture, design, and of course mathematics. Then it reached this point where deep esoteric culture allowed, or rather it started getting revealed, that sacred geometry is also part of every thought you have, every word you speak, and every action you take. And how does that work out? You see, sacred geometry basically tells us and teaches us that everything has this beautiful symmetric sort of like the shape of the beautiful design behind me there. Yes, everything has a beautiful shape based on its vibration, based on its own frequency emitted from the center of its body, whether that body is organic or inorganic. Yes, and this vibration is what creates this shape. Similarly, even our thoughts have those vibrations. Even our words have vibrations, but of course it would, because words are sound. Sound has vibration, isn't it? So if we were to go to a really quiet place and go, ah, you would actually create a wave of sound. Now imagine the number of thoughts through brainwaves and words through, the words we speak, yes, and actions that we take on a daily basis. How many vibrations are we sending out? And what we encode into those thoughts, words, and actions becomes the truth of our vibration. And that then connects to a larger sacred geometry of all the vibrations of the universe, because they all go towards one. We are all part of this one system, yes? And it becomes sort of like the feedback that you give the universe, and the universe returns it through quantum feedback. The universe returns it to you in whatever goes on in your life. Isn't that interesting to notice? Because as soon as you are staying in a state of abundance, positivity, giving less airtime to negativity and more airtime to positivity and moving forward and sovereignty and really practicing being the kind of light worker or being the kind of higher vibrational human being that you want to be, immediately you start getting responses, the quantum feedback from the infinite consciousness, from the universal energy matrix, is also exactly the way we have projected it. And this makes us wonder, then why? Why do I have such traumas in my life? Why can't I find a job? Why can I not find love in my life? This is where we go deeper. Yes. So either in your life, there are certain things you don't realize that you are creating vibrations of. Yes, whether that is through negative words, whether that's through negative thoughts. Your words could be wonderful. You could be a very kind person, but if your thoughts are not clear and your thoughts are not pure, then the universe responds to that. Does that make sense? And so the work that we do in sacred geometry quantum healing is that we step into that space where we can go and find out where the codes are a bit mixed up, you see. And now these codes can be from your life currently. So when I sit down with you, I'm actually listening to you and I'm able to read your energy field and sort of sense, sort of with an extrasensory perception. I'm still practicing on opening up my psychic abilities, yes, and to reach that point where I can say, you have these thoughts that are going on in your mind, you have these kind of words that are coming out, and we kind of re-engineer that and we practice the opposite of it to try and get better results. That is from the perspective of this life. Then we are actually able to look at your timelines in terms of, first of all, looking at your genetics, yes, looking at your bloodline and seeing how your mother and father and their mothers and fathers have been influential to their own energies and therefore passing on to you. Because if we kind of consider that we are one consciousness constantly expressing itself, every parent and child is an expression of each other, then we begin to see that we are sometimes, that old joke that says, oh no, I'm turning into my mother, So you're trying to see what part you want to keep and what part you want to let go of because you want to re-engineer your life, yes? And then we go into the historic perspective. Historic perspective is where we look at the land that we come from, right? So if you're born in one country, or your ethnicity or your ancestry is from one country, but you've moved into another country, that affects you too. And if you have to look at the battles of that land, the energy signatures of that land, the divine feminine and the divine masculine of that land, there's so many little subtle energies that we can actually observe, and the vibration we can observe. And somehow, if we look at this from all of these perspectives, and we gently work through the energy coaching work, through gently approaching ourselves with love, without saying, oh, I'm bad, or oh, I'm not good enough, but to allow ourselves to understand that we are the product of our own life, our own words, thoughts, and actions, the product of our genetic codes and constructs, product of the history of the lands that we come from, and of course the product of the higher consciousness of our souls, then we are able to break free from these little spaces and step into a space where we have sovereignty and power over our energy field. And this is the work that I do for you. Yes, sacred geometry, quantum healing, that's what it's all about. If you are interested in getting on this journey with me, DM me. Let's start this journey for you. I offer private coaching, and I have workshops that will come up. Follow this page and you can see what workshops come up too. Yes? Wonderful. Have a beautiful day, and I wish you all the well. I'm here for you.